Port Charles Memorial Hospital was unusually quiet that morning. Even the halls seemed to hum with a tension that no one could point to, but everyone felt. Stella Henry walked through the corridor with a determined expression, clutching a stack of reports she needed to deliver. Stella was never one to poke around in things that weren't her business, unless it involved her family. And lately, her instincts had been screaming. Something was off. Something about the way Portia talked around certain topics, the way Trina avoided conversations about genetics, and the way Curtis kept brushing aside the nagging feeling that something was unresolved between him and his past. Stella wasn't a detective. She didn't need to be. She simply paid attention. When she entered the genetics department to drop off paperwork, she accidentally knocked a tray of files onto the floor. Papers scattered at her feet. She sighed, knelt down and began gathering them. And then she froze. Right there, half covered under a lab request form, she saw it. DNA parentage confirmation. Trina Robinson, Curtis Ashford. Potential match. High likelihood. Her heart slammed hard against her ribs. Stella blinked, hoping she was reading something wrong, but no. There it was, crystal clear. A confirmed match. Evidence. No speculation, no rumor, no possibility of a mix-up. Curtis Ashford was Trina Robinson's biological father. And Portia had known. For a long time. Stella's hands shook as she held the paper. Her breath turned shallow. She'd suspected, but suspicion was nothing like seeing the truth printed in black ink. Stella whispered, "Lord help us. Portia, what have you done?" Portia Robinson stood in an exam room, head bowed over her tablet, reviewing patient notes. But her thoughts weren't on her job. A storm churned inside her. For weeks, she'd been terrified, nervous that someone, anyone, might stumble upon the truth she'd desperately buried for 20 years. Yes, she lied to protect Trina. Yes, she lied to protect her career. But mostly, she had lied to protect herself. Because Curtis had been the good man, the one she shouldn't have cheated on, the one she shouldn't have left without explanation. And if the truth came out, if Curtis discovered Trina was truly his daughter, everything she built with Taggart would crumble. Everything she rebuilt with Curtis could be destroyed. She whispered, almost pleading with the universe, "Please don't let this come out now, not like this." Just then, her phone vibrated. A text from Stella. "Need to see you. Urgent." Portia's blood turned to ice. Stella never used the word urgent unless it was life and death. Portia sat heavily in her chair, her palms sweaty. She typed back, "When?" The reply was instant. "Now." Portia's pulse spiked. She knew. Stella knew. Stella waited in the hospital conference room, arms folded, shoulders stiff, eyes blazing with a fury that only someone deeply betrayed could hold. When Portia walked in, Stella didn't say a word. She simply placed the DNA report on the table. Portia's breath stilled. "Stella, I can explain." "Don't." Stella's voice cracked like a whip. "Do not insult me with excuses. Just tell me, how long have you known Curtis was Trina's father?" Portia swallowed hard, her voice barely above a whisper. "Years." "Years? You let that boy, my nephew, struggle with identity, question every relationship he had, feel broken while you held the truth?" Portia's lips trembled. "I was trying to protect my daughter." "Protect her?" Stella nearly shouted. "From what? The truth? A father who would die for her? A family that would cherish her?" Tears pooled in Portia's eyes.
It wasn't that simple. It rarely is, Stella snapped. But lying? Keeping a father from his child? A child from her own history? That was a choice. Your choice. Portia looked away. I was afraid that Curtis would leave me, afraid that Taggart would hate me, afraid Trina would never forgive me. And now, Stella said sharply, now you should be afraid of what happens when Curtis learns the truth you kept from him. Stella didn't give Portia time to prepare. She didn't give her time to spin a story. She marched straight from the conference room to the Savoy, where Curtis was managing afternoon logistics. Curtis looked up, smiling. Hey, Auntie, what's... The smile faded instantly. The expression on Stella's face told him everything. Something horrible had happened. Auntie, Curtis whispered. What is it? Stella reached into her bag and placed the DNA report on the bar counter. Curtis scanned it. His face drained of color. His breath stuttered. His hands went numb. He looked up at Stella, voice breaking. Please tell me this isn't real. Stella's voice was gentle but firm. It's real, baby. Curtis grabbed the edge of the bar to steady himself. Portia knew? This whole time? Stella nodded. Curtis's eyes glistened. His voice cracked. I asked her. I begged her for the truth, and she lied. Again. Stella touched his shoulder. I'm so sorry, Curtis, but you deserve the truth, and Trina deserves her father. Curtis closed his eyes, devastated. Trina Robinson arrived at the Savoy looking for Stella, who had texted her to come by. She spotted Curtis and smiled. Hey, Curtis, have you seen... Her voice trailed off when she saw his face. Something was terribly wrong. Curtis, what happened? Curtis stared at her, with a look she didn't understand, a look she'd never seen before. Pain, fear, awe, and something deeper. Trina, Curtis whispered, his voice raw. We need to talk. Stella stepped aside quietly. Curtis handed Trina the DNA report. Trina frowned as she read it, at first confused, then silent, then trembling. Wait, Trina whispered. This can't be real. Curtis's voice cracked. It is. Trina shook her head harder. No, my dad, Taggart, he's my father. He raised me. Curtis reached toward her, but Trina recoiled. No, she screamed. This is wrong. Mom would have told me. She wouldn't lie about something like this. Curtis felt tears burn. Portia knew. Trina's world shattered. The betrayal hit her with a force she never expected. Her mother, her rock, had lied to her about who she was. I need to talk to her, Trina said shakily. I need answers. And she ran out. Portia was pacing her office, hands trembling, fearing the next knock. When the door burst open, she turned and saw Trina standing there, tears streaming, eyes blazing. Mom, Trina whispered, voice trembling with rage. Tell me the truth. Is Curtis my father? Portia froze. Trina took a step closer. Don't lie to me. Not now. Not after everything. Portia broke. She covered her face with her hands and sobbed. And that was all the confirmation Trina needed. You lied to me. My whole life. You lied. Portia reached for her. Trina, I was trying to protect you. Protect me? Trina choked. From what? From the truth? From my own father? Portia fell to her knees. I was afraid. I was afraid of what it would do to our family. I was afraid of losing everything. You already did, Trina whispered. And she walked out. When Taggart heard the truth, he stormed into Portia's house, rage burning in his eyes. How long? He demanded. Portia's voice trembled. Please don't do this. How long did you let me believe she was mine? Portia sobbed. "She are your father." Tigret's voice cracked. "I raised her. I protected her, and you let me do it under a lie." "She needed you," Portia whispered. "And she still needs me," Taggart said, softer. "But she also deserves the truth." Curtis sat alone in his club after closing. Stella returned quietly. Curtis whispered, "I missed her whole childhood, her entire life because of that lie." Stella hugged him. "She'll come to you, Curtis. She just needs time." Curtis's eyes filled with tears. "I don't want time. I want my daughter." Trina stood outside the Savoy hours later, trembling. Curtis opened the door and froze. "Trina?"
She wiped her tears. "I don't know how to do this." Curtis swallowed. "We take it slow, one step at a time. I don't expect anything." Trina nodded softly. "But maybe we could try." Curtis's voice broke. "I'd like that." He gently opened his arms. After a moment of hesitation, Trina stepped into them. Curtis held her like she was the most fragile, precious thing in the world. For the first time in her life, Trina felt something click inside her, a missing piece settling into place. Portia came home to an empty, silent house. Trina wasn't speaking to her. Taggart had moved out. Curtis wouldn't answer her calls. Her entire world collapsed in a single day. She sank onto the couch and sobbed uncontrollably. Then her phone dinged. A message from Curtis. She opened it. "We will talk eventually. Not today, not tomorrow, but we will, for Trina's sake." Portia exhaled shakily. At least there was hope, but it would be a long road. Everyone in Port Charles began whispering about the truth. Jordan looked shocked, but not surprised. Ava smirked because she'd suspected all along. Nicholas saw an opportunity to use the truth against Portia. Celine and Wu smiled slyly, knowing this would destabilize Curtis's alliances. Esme watched from the shadows, eyes glittering, plotting to weaponize the emotional fallout. And Spencer worried for Trina, knowing the pain she was going through and vowing to protect her no matter what. Portia stood alone, knowing she had set off a bomb that would take years to recover from. Just when Portia thought things couldn't get worse, another envelope arrived at the hospital, unmarked. Inside, a second DNA report. But this time, it was about Portia. Stella opened the envelope first, her hands trembling as she read the results. Her eyes widened, her breath caught, her heart raced, because the test revealed Portia has a secret sibling in Port Charles, someone powerful, someone unexpected, someone whose connection to Portia could change everything. And Stella whispered, "Oh Lord, this is about to get so much worse."